Did I buy more books than I anticipated during the month of November? Yes, I did. Am I happy with that? Yes, I am. So hi and welcome back to my channel, my fellow fantasy book lovers. Or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Kathy and I'm a fantasy book lover from Belgium. For today's video, I'm going to go through my pile of new books. A few of these are pre-orders, but honestly, I have no excuse as to why I have so many books yet again. And I'm gonna go from the book that I bought most recently to the ones that I had at the end of October. So this one, The Tainted Cup, I actually had to order specifically because the hardcover version wasn't available directly in store anymore. And I actually saw this book mentioned a few times by some of my favorite booktubers, so I'm very curious for it. It says on the back, "For if my conjectures prove true, we shall unmask a murderer, or we shall all get our throats slit." So this is like a suspense book a little bit. In an opulent mansion at the border of the empire, an imperial officer lies dead, killed when a tree spontaneously erupted from his body. Even here, where contagions abound and the blood of the leviathans works strange magical changes, it's a death at once terrifying and impossible. Called in to solve the crime is Ana do Labra, an investigator whose reputation for brilliance is matched only by her eccentricity. At her side is her new assistant, Donios Kol, an engraver magically altered to possess a perfect memory. Soon the mystery leads to a scheme that threatens the safety of the empire itself. For Anna, all this makes for a deliciously thorny puzzle. At last, something to truly hold her attention. And then, he'll just have to hold on for the ride. So this sounds like a fun, maybe murder mystery, but then with fantasy vibes. And I hope this is the type of book that I do really enjoy, because there have been others in the past that I didn't like, but since I heard so many good things about it, I grabbed it. The next book is, of course, The Songbird and a Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. I love the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I just had to have it. And I got the special edition hardcover with the arrow on the side. This is nothing special except for that. It's not it's a pretty normal hardcover, but it doesn't have an inside design or anything. This is just the regular special edition hardcover, or the regular spray painted edge hardcover. So I picked this up at Standard Boekhandel here in Belgium. It was released on the 19th of November. By the time this video airs, I may or may not have already started reading it, but I'm super excited to continue this series. The next two books are my pre-orders, also for the Carissa Broadbent books, but this is the first duet of Ashes and the Star-Cursed King and Serpent and the Wings of Night, and these are stunning. They have spray-painted edges, they have a gorgeous design on the spines of the books as well, with moons and everything. The fronts are gorgeous. I know there is in the book, there is also a design. They have the character artwork on the book itself, which is not something that I enjoy, but I think the dust jackets that are on these books are stunning. And I personally absolutely love them, and they're gonna go on my shelf right here with my other Carissa Broadbent books. The shelf is actually getting quite full, but I'm super happy that I have these. And I just saw that the back of Serpent and the Wings of Night has a snake, and the one of Ashes and the Star-Cursed King has the wings, which is a reference to each of the characters, of course. At the beginning of November, there was Facts Convention, and they had this massive stand of this particular book with this, I think, griffin in huge on the floor, above it. And you could get your book signed by the author, which was something I did, and the experience was truly magical. I haven't started reading this yet. This is called The Great Library of Tomorrow. And again, the backside has nothing of particular interest, because it's Steve Aoki who has done a quote, and this is together with Tomorrowland. So the Tomorrowland logo is on here. I'm not sure why they have collaborated on a book, but it doesn't really matter. So let's read the synopsis. Helia has served as the sage of hope for the great library of tomorrow for centuries. She's one of the chosen few who embody and protect the values of humanity across the numerous realms of paper world, which are connected within the library itself via magical portals controlled by the Book of Wisdom. But even her hope is tested when she and her partner, Xavier, the Sage of Truth, are attacked while visiting the famous Rose Garden in the realm of Sylvira. Wounded and in shock amid a storm of fire, they are confronted by a deadly figure known to them as the Ashman. With the garden destroyed and its dragon protector missing, Xavier sacrifices his life so that Helia can return home to warn the other sages. But there she finds the Book of Wisdom, always a guide to the sages, eerily silent. With the Ashman gaining strength, Helia soon finds herself in a race against time, searching for clues to the origins of their foe and any possible way to defeat them. So I love the idea of like libraries, working in a library. I also loved the spell shop, which has like a librarian figure in them. So I think this book is a very good match for my reading taste. I just hope that I get to it very soon. And with this book, I also got the tote bag with the same design and the title on it. And I've been carrying that bag around so many times and people actually recognize it and came up to me and like, hey, is it a good book or not? And I'm like, I haven't read it yet, but I have it on my shelves. So hopefully soon in one of my reading updates, this book will be mentioned. Up next is a book that I had on my TBR list, like looking at for a little while. And whenever I saw this at Facts, I just knew that I had to purchase it. It is called Blood Over Bright Heaven by M.L. Wang. And I'm gonna quickly read you the synopsis. The first woman ever admitted to a prestigious order of mages unravels a secret conspiracy that could change the practice of magic forever in this standalone dark fantasy from the author of The Sword of Kaigen. I'm not going to read into this too much, but this is a book that I had very high on my TBR for a very long time. I forgot about it, now I finally have it. And I want to read it. For those of you who know me, we all know that this is a very special thing for me. I got a book in Dutch. And the main reason I got this book in Dutch is because it isn't translated. It looks stunning. And I actually was able to see the author at Facts, and I had been following her on Instagram and TikTok for a while, so I knew like I really wanted to read this book. This book is called De Muze en de Dood, so the muse and death, basically. And I will quickly read you the translation of the little blurb here at the back. I'm not going to read the entire thing because translating while reading in another language is not simple. The love of a god is dangerous, obsession is even more. So Death basically wants to get a dying woman back alive because he's in love with her / obsessed with her. So we'll see. This is like a fantasy romance, dark fantasy romance, I think. If you look at the artwork, it's like a rose, and then you can see the characters here, and at the back it's the characters as well. So I think the entire design of the book, the theming of it is amazing. So I want to read this. I have to admit, I also got a few other Dutch books in the past and I haven't touched a single one of them. So I hope this maybe will be the first book that I actually read in Dutch. Who knows? And then the final book is actually a book that I bought from a friend of mine. So thank you, Ona, for selling me this book. It is called To Cage a God. And this was, I think, a Fairyloot or an Illumicrate book. Illumicrate. I am no longer subscribed to Illumicrate or Fairyloot, and I don't regret it at all. But sometimes there's like a few books that I do want to read, and then I will just buy them secondhand because it's still not super difficult to find them. So To Cage a God. To cage a god is divine. To be divine is to rule is to destroy. And I've heard good things about this book, so we'll see if I like it. Usually gods are not a theme that speaks to me as much, but I do want to give this a try. So these 8 books are joining my collection. Serpent and the Wings of Night and Ashes and the Stalker's King are immediately going into my red shelves, which are here behind me. So you will be able to spot them in future videos. All of the other books, unfortunately for now, are going to my other bookshelf where I keep my entire physical TBR. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below which books did you purchase during the month of November. And is there anything that you want to get your hands on during December? Because I personally have made a wish list with a few books in it, so I hope that my December book haul will contain those either from gifts or I will probably purchase them myself in January if I haven't gotten them. There's a few books that I put on my wish list that I already know I am getting, because my partner was like, you are not ordering a single book until we have had the holidays and I have been able to give you gifts. So it's very hard for me going to bookshops right now because I'm not allowed to buy any books because I might end up having them double and we of course don't want it. I want to already wish you very happy holidays with the holiday season soon approaching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching and happy reading. Bye!